Hi all, this is Ashish Kyal here. Welcome again to Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. Today it's Tuesday at 4 and I thought why not come on a Tuesday at 4 because market is doing exceptionally well the way we have been expecting it to behave. It's fantastic. I just want to know every one of you, are you able to hear me? Are you able to see me? Is it all good? Fantastic. Okay, you are. AV is all clear. Thank you very much to be here, every one of you. Great to see you, Sudipto again, Begriel, Mr. Lad, Abhinav, all of you. Reliance Lifetime Hi, Bhavesh, Kiran, Vikash, all of you. Welcome to Ashish Kyal Trading Gurukul. So I'm going to be conducting a very short webinar. We are going to look at what's happening with Nifty around, what's happening with global markets, and why it is time to be bullish but cautious. Okay. So क्या रहा है global markets में? If you look at what's happening with, I'm sure if you are tracking the global markets, you might be looking at US equity index, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Last Friday at 4 we discussed about Dow Jones and how prices behave. That is very important. Still we seeing a pressure on US market. Nasdaq was down yesterday. Facebook was down, given the fact that WhatsApp went down all the way along with Instagram and Facebook. That is what the reason being mentioned is. Like in Facebook stock, if you look at the stock prices of Facebook, that has been correcting for quite some time. So it is not the Facebook that is the reason. It is not the WhatsApp being down being the reason for Facebook correcting sharply. वो वैसे भी stock price गिर ही रहा था. And it's very interesting. If you look at the charts of these global world over markets, I was seeing Hang Seng, I was seeing Taiwan market, I was seeing FTSE, which is UK, DAX, which is German, US. All of those stocks, all of those indices are not taking out the highs. But if you look at Nifty and our stock market, it has been on a different world altogether. So we are decoupling, we are bucking the trend. Today I was live on CNBC TV 18 at around 1:30. I talked about that as well, that we are decoupling and moving independently. This independent movement can continue for some time, but not for long. तो अगर यूएस मार्केट में फॉलिंग कंटिन्यू होता है, तो फॉर आवर मार्केट टू बाउंस बैक और सॉरी टू कंटिन्यू टू ट्रेंड हायर becomes very risky affair. I have seen it in the past when people have continued to buy the market at the high. So what I am saying is, try and understand me very clearly. This I am doing it for you all. Try and understand very clearly. What I am saying is, you continue to stay bullish. The market is buy on dips until and unless the support level breaks. But if the support level breaks, change your stand instantaneously. That is how it should be looked at. अब होता क्या है, आप आधी चीज सुनते हैं and then you start shorting the market and then you start blaming me for doing that. So don't do that. I'm again repeating, it's a buyer's market right now. There is nothing that has changed. You keep buying, keep using dips as a buying opportunity, and then you continue to ride the trend. Now how do you do that? If you are an intraday trader, there was a classic opportunity today when Nifty was at 18,000, sorry, 17,750 level. 18,000 gaya nahi abhi. So 17,750, Nifty was around that level. And you can clearly see from there was a classic breakout on the upside. Now, what made me bullish at that level? And if you have been following me on Twitter, I'll share across a chart which I tweeted over here. So this is, you can see my screen of the Twitter screen. Okay, fantastic. So if you see this Twitter screen, you can see that I have a chart here which shows what was happening at that time frame. Okay, and basis of that chart, I have been able to predict exactly what to do. So this was 3 hours before. Nifty was precisely at 7,746. I'll just open up the chart so that you can see it clearly. Okay, if you are seeing this chart right now, you can see this is going in the past data and analyzing it, because I tweeted this across when Nifty was at 17,746 level. Here it was. Okay, this was the candle. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm combining candlestick method with open interest analysis in order to form a strategy on a Nifty. ठीक है, यहाँ पर 17,700 के ऊपर अगर आप देखोगे, that was the second highest open interest buildup. The highest open interest buildup is at 18,000 level. Okay, that's one. Now, Nifty, when it was at this zone, can you see a small head and shoulder kind of a pattern here with the neckline being here? Okay. Now, in the morning, when Nifty was closed at this point, we mentioned that if Nifty breaks 17,450, it will be a sign of concern because global markets are falling. So we can open gap down. Of course, SGX को देख के वैसा ही लगा, लेकिन SGX, you know how SGX can ditch you. हुआ आपके साथ? SGX has ditched you many times, and market does what it has to do. SGX Nifty I'm talking about, if you understand what I mean. So यहाँ पर it just went down for some time, and then nothing happened, nothing changed. So there was not even a close, hourly close भी नहीं किया आज के दिन में. Okay. So that was a first indication, opening our candle. So on Saturday webinar, if you have been a part of my webinar on a Saturday, I talked about opening our trading strategy, opening our candle trading strategy. अगर आपने नहीं देखा होगा वो webinar, you might have missed that amazing 2 hours about time cycle and webinar. Okay. So opening hour was bullish. Next, this level was important because from here we had a sharp rise, a dip, and break above this level indicated that there is going to be a positive breakout. Now, इस level पे 17,800 पे highest open interest था, also put was high. However, it was very clear that if Nifty sustains about 17,750, which was about this level I mentioned on the Twitter itself, you can see it over here. Okay, I'll just hide my camera so that you can see everything. 750 might result into short covering by 17,700 call writers. And you can clearly see this fluorescent green represents the change in open interest. Now I'll also go on the latest chart and show you how that changed. You will see that this change in open interest again resulted back, and then we started seeing reduction in the open interest of 17,700 call writers, which means they started covering their position as soon as Nifty managed to sustain above 17,750. Now why 17,750? क्योंकि देखो जो भी कॉल राइटर्स 17,700 पे राइट कर रहा है, he is still making money even if Nifty is around 17,750 level. It's beyond that level that he start losing money, because beyond 17,750 he will start losing money, he will start squaring off his position. Because this call writer starts squaring off the position, that gives support to the price to shoot on the upside. I also mentioned in my other tweet that we can see a move towards 17,820 levels, and what a closing it had been. Precisely in just 1.5 hours, Nifty moved from here, touched the level of 17,820 within just after an hour, about 1.5 hours that happened. So this, the reason of this. Now, how do you trade options when you looking at this kind of data? First of all, I had one time cycle which was forming a low yesterday, and that time cycle formed a low exactly around 12 o'clock, which was this candle. Around this candle, the low was formed, and from there we saw a pullback. That cycle will remain positive until we see a move back below that low, which didn't happen. So the cycle was still playing positive. Today morning it seemed that it might turn bearish, lekin as the opening candle strategy I said, it's clearly defined that it is a bullish sign. Okay, AA is saying, I think you are too much bearish on the market. Why am I talking bearish or bullish right now? Guys, I want to know that. Are you interpreting me as a bear or as a bull? The first sentence that I said you is you buy and buy. I'm cautious, does not mean I'm bearish. Mr. A is talking that I'm bearish on the market. I don't know why. I am bearish from positional trade perspective, understand me, hear me out very clearly. अगर यार मैं bearish हूँ, 12 बजे मैंने ये shoot किया message, is it bearish or bullish? Okay, I don't know if people interpret, if they are looking at it a different way, I have no clue. I'm again repeating myself to make it very clear in front of all of you. In the morning, it suggests that global markets are falling apart, and that's a sign of concern. Only if we break 17,450 levels. Also tomorrow there is a new moon which is kicking in. Between new moon, which is known as Amavasya, to a full moon which is known as Purnima, market usually does not trend much. It shows a time correction. Okay, with that, given the fact, I am not saying you the market will fall on the new moon. I am saying it usually behaves that way. So if the support level breaks on the downside, then we turn bearish. As of now, it is important for you to stay bullish on the buy side. Now, how do you trade this kind of a market for the buy side? Let me go on the latest chart and share that across with you. Let me close this across and share. So this was what I tweeted, and it's very interesting to see. This is clearly someone in the morning, Sandhya, she wrote based on the webinar that she attended, based on what I'm tweeting, everything. So it's clearly mentioned. Over here, I was also on the CNBC show. If you go and listen my CNBC, I talked about the same stuff again. So what I'm trying to say is that Nifty is moving precisely as we have been expecting, and it has been doing amazingly well. So let me now share across the latest open interest chart and explain it to you. Okay, so this is the latest open interest chart that I am seeing right now. यहाँ पर अभी क्या करना है हमें? What do we see is happening around? Do you remember the 17,700 ka call option writers? I said short covering will start there. Can you see where is that 17,700 call? You know, this one. Can you see the reduction in the open interest? As soon as this level was taken out, these people started short covering. And that's why the candle earlier, which in the chart which I showed, was this way. And now, because of the short covering which happened, you can clearly see this has now changed. समझ में आया? And Nifty has pulled on the upside. I also mentioned that it's forming an expanding pattern. When I say expanding pattern, it looks like an expanding on the upside and coming down, as well as it's going down and bouncing back. So this pattern that you see here is known as a running expanding triangle. So this pattern is known as running because it's moving on the upside, expanding triangle pattern. Now this line is the neckline, which is extremely important. Okay, over here right now, this looks like a head, this looks like a shoulder, and this looks like a shoulder. Now you will be confused. I'll tell you why. I just now talked about a head and shoulder here also, and I'm talking about a bigger head and shoulder here also. The only pattern जिसमें you see everything together with a topping head and shoulder. Okay, this is, let me label this as H1, S1, and this is S2, which is going on. It's not yet complete. We don't know yet. Plus with a bottoming head and shoulder pattern is a triangle. Triangle is the only pattern where we see these kind of conflicting patterns forming together with gaps. And usually it is an expanding triangle where we see, this is from neo wave perspective I'm talking, where we see sharp reversals around at the edge of it. Okay, now if this looks like a if this is an expanding triangle, or this can also be an extracting triangle, Chaitanya, brilliant, this can also be an extracting triangle. For that to happen, this length should not be more than the length of this over here which we are seeing. Okay, so we need to measure now what is the length of each of these legs from a Fibonacci projection tool. So I'm going to do that in front of you. Okay, this is Fibo retracement, this is Fibo extension. Let us measure the first leg, which is from this point to this point, and how much did the second leg move with respect to that. So if you look at this entire rise which you are seeing, this is exactly 100% at this level. So the second leg is 100%. With that Fibonacci continuing on the upside, we can expect 100% move if that happens on the upside. Okay, the target for Nifty, okay, you can't see the color of the label here. Let me just change that. How do I change the color? So let me make it a little different one. Okay, yeah. If you do that, oh, that's bad. Okay, anyways, you can see this is the zone which is marked. Let me remove that color. That's a background. Yeah, that's weird. So anyways, that's the zone. So our target comes to around this level with equality. That comes to around 17,992. Now that is the equality target for the expanding triangle. This, if this turns out to be an expanding triangle. For the neckline and head and shoulder target, the head target comes to from the lows of this, which is over here 17,460. The neckline was at 17,750 odd levels. Okay, so it was nearly around 280 points. So if we project 280 points on upside, it comes to around 18,000. That's one. So I have two Fibonacci relationship right now. दो रिलेशनशिप कौन से हैं मेरे? सपोज ये A है, ये B है, ये C है, ये D है, and if this is E. दो Fibonacci relationship में से one is C is equality with C, which is equality with A. With that in mind, we get a target of 18K. Then I have another relationship which is head and shoulder ka relationship. If I measure that and project it on the upside, the equality target comes to around 17,998 or whatever, 18,010, something like that. Exactly, you can measure and check. That's the next thing that we are getting. The third thing that we are getting is the highest open interest build-up on the call side is at 18,000 level. So, which means that crossing this 18,000 level is not going to be an easy task. If Nifty crosses above that 18,100 to 150, if that happens, then the next set of short covering, big time short covering will kick in, that will push prices another 400 points. So I'm not saying we will do that. I'm suggesting that the trend remains positive now until and unless we break below the low of this gap. So ये gap दिख रहा है आपको? This is the most important gap that you can consider being there. This also is an island here. Okay, this is like an island reversal back on the upside. Now, given the global market scenario and given what's happening around with US equity, how do we trade in the current market from positional perspective? तो इंट्राडे पे तो बाय करके चलना है, आपको डिप्स मिला बाय करो. पोजिशनल ट्रेड कैसे लेना है? नाउ for me to take a positional trade, the first thing that I am going to look at is if I buy a call option. Okay, if I buy a call option, I might not be able to make money because the value will deteriorate since I don't see much room on the upside being left. That's one. So buying a call option is out. Next, sell a put option looks a sensible strategy, but not of this strike price, because then you are too close and Nifty can have a 200-point gap down any day. I don't rule that out given week in global markets. So put option agar mujhe sell karna hai, I will prefer a strike price of 17,400 because uske ऊपर हमारे पास में cushion है put OI buildup का. This is the near second highest OI after 17,000. So this is the 17,500. So if I am selling a 17,400 ka put option, I know these people will try to defend it to the extent possible. So अगर ये defend करने आएंगे, I'm profiling the market by the way. If these people comes for defending, for sure Nifty, even if it has to go down, it will go down, show a bounce back before it breaks down, which means I'll have an exit with not much of a loss if that happens. If something like this happens, that's the scenario. So my strategy will be selling a 17,400 put option, which I already did when Nifty was crossing this level over here of a next week strike, not of the current one, because zyada kuch mil nahi raha. You can be, sorry, next week expiry. You can even do it for the current expiry. That is fine. But it depends on, are you okay with that much of, uh, that much of ROI in case, because you have to shell out say 1.2 lakh for one lot to short. Are you okay with that? Then you can do that. So my preference will be selling a 17,400 ka put option, keeping that in mind of a next week expiry, but using a very strict stop loss, given that I am not bullish on the global market and that's breaking down. That is how I am analyzing the market overall. And my moon cycle is kicking in tomorrow. I'm not saying it will go down tomorrow. I'm again repeating. It is indicating we might, after a few days, might not show a good trending move. Okay. That is what the entire crux, by combining what all things. I'm looking at the OI to form a strategy, open interest. I looked at 17,700 ka open interest where short covering will happen. I looked at a head and shoulder pattern, looking at the smaller head and shoulder pattern. I am aware if this trend line breaks, this is known as a BD trend line. If this faster retracement happens below BD trend line, the markets can go big time down. Given all of these understanding with the moon cycle, this is the best strategy. Which trade you should have taken around this zone, which we gave to the clients also on the buy side very clearly, and it worked out fabulously well, right? Even on futures worked out extremely well. So these are things that we combine together. So open interest analysis बहुत simple है, and this is a cumulative open interest analysis that we are looking at it. It's a fantastic thing, but the entire thing around here is combining all of those things together with timing the market has been my key. Of course, wave principle. Without wave, I don't do anything. With timing the market, with applying those time cycles where the markets are reversing, where the cycle turns from buy to sell, short-term cycles, I'm saying, that is the key. For me, the sell happens exactly around this zone, followed by this on the downside with the gap. So 17,450 was the level. I mentioned it clearly in my research. If that takes out, be bearish. But if 17,750 gets taken out, continue to ride the trend, nothing changed for India. Okay, so that is very, very important. Why not write a 18,000 ka call option? That's the question that can come to your mind. Let me ask you one thing. See, if you are forming a hedging strategy, you don't want to make money on a naked right position, that is up to you. You can do that. For me, I will not write a call option immediately now. I'll wait for tomorrow. If tomorrow I see faster retracement, so let me go on a 15-minute chart to explain that. Am I making sense to you guys? How I am looking at the chart real time, and I'm tweeting it across also on @Kyal. So, and people who are there on YouTube, I'm sure you are asking me questions. Not everyone is able to post it here because you need to subscribe to the channel if you want to post it. Okay. Chaitanya is saying fantastic eye opener. Chaitanya, great to see you being active again. Now look at this. My wave pattern and my cycle theory, both combined together. This is A for me, this wave is B for me, and this wave is C for me. In fact, equality of this also is what we should measure. Shall we measure and check? Fibonacci, everything coincides together for some reason, and it works like magic. That's how you have to do that. Okay, I'm going to be changing the color. This is not good. I'm going to make a little light color somewhere, maybe this one on a lighter side. Let's see if that has worked well. Yeah, perfect. Now, if I measure the equality of this C wave with A wave, what is the target that you are getting on the upside? It's giving us 17,936. So can I say that the zone around 17,930 to 18,000 is the zone where we have C equality with A, triangle E equality with C, head and shoulder target coming equality there, highest open interest build up there, and we are entering into a no moon phase. Isn't that interesting? So crossing 18,000 looks improbable, but tomorrow अगर cross हो गया तो don't come back and say you said 18,000 will not cross and market should fall because you are bearish. Don't blame it on me, please. I'm cautious, but I'm still buying, shorting put options and riding the trend on the upside. I shorted call option 2 days back and I made money anyways. That worked out brilliantly well anyways. So each of these legs that you see here has worked out brilliantly for me. So I shorted a call option here. I covered that option here. I shorted a put option here. I will cover it if it happens. I'll still make money. That's how I'm going to do that. So are you with me? This is how you should analyze the market and always take responsibility for your actions because it's your trade. But again, I am repeating, the way I am trading and I'm looking at it is purely because you can combine this along with time cycle. Okay, you have to combine this with time cycle, and that has been extremely well. Krishna is saying the gain level of 17,556 worked so well yesterday and today. Exactly, Krishna. I showed that gain level in my Saturday webinar on time cycles. I showed that and it worked so brilliantly. Well, that gain level. Thanks, Krishna, for reminding and pointing that out. So maybe market after RBI policy on 8th, maybe we will see that. So we have an RBI policy on 8th. Let's see how that goes. It looks like RBI is not going to change their interest rate, maintaining the status quo. And also one very interesting thing, with the falling COVID cases and with COVID getting out of the way, looks like everything can be, there is no reason for markets to fall. Market does exactly when it has to, what it has to do. So I'm taking small steps now. I'm reducing my time frame from 15 days trading to a few days of trading and doing it the way I'm explaining you over here. So Sudesh is saying, please share brief idea on time cycles. Okay, I'm not going to share what is the time cycle I'm following right now. I've already showed that on a Saturday webinar. Time cycle helps you to understand when the lows of the market is going to be forming. Okay, when the lows of the market is going to form, if you know that, you know probably where the tops can be, probably, because cycle helps you to capture the lows exactly, not the top. But once you know the low, for example, once I know this is the cycle low, okay, also going back, I knew a cycle low was formed, 55-day cycle low formed around 10-12 days back, which was in the zone from where Nifty reversed sharply up. I knew exactly those zones. So जब तक prices वो zone को break नहीं करता है, it's going to be very interesting. Okay, so when the zone gets broken, then things will change. Okay, Akhil is saying, what are you sharing in free webinars? Our trainers don't teach even after taking money. That's how it is. Fantastic. So guys, I'm conducting a 2 days program on mastering time cycles, which is happening on this Saturday, Sunday. Do you want to be a part of that program? I just want to know, because since we are already going absolutely fantastic. So many of you are there. Firdaus, great to see you with the market being there. So so do you want to be a part of that? I'm launching a very quick poll for you. If you want to be a part of that program, which is on this Saturday and Sunday, I'm launched a poll here, Master of Cycles, just for people who are on this webinar now. We can extend that early bird offer for you people who are attending this webinar right now with me. The link will be shared by my colleague from where you can go and register for this program. Here is the poll. Do you want to be a part of Master of Cycles, which is 9, 10, 10? Yes, it's going to be fantabulous. And our mentorship is starting on 20th of November. And it's going to be amazing. If you are a part of Menti, you get to attend Master of Cycles anyways. So the link is shared across by my colleague. You can use that link and you can be a part of this wonderful training of 2 days, which is going to be about the entire thing that we are doing using cyclical analysis. You can be a part of that. You can use cycles in your favor and time the market very clearly. So you can click on, okay, Sudish, you can go on that and you will be able to get all the info from that. Okay, great. Sudipto, let me ask my team to speak with you. And that's the poll which is there in front of you. Just ensure you participate in the poll. I'm going to take up just a few questions more. Okay, I can see Nifty gain level was crucial. Yes, Krishna, we are going to talk about this gain level in much detail in my upcoming program. How did I derive those gain levels on square of 9? I'm going to talk about in Master of Cycles program. Nifty IT started moving up. Yes. Looks like ABCD and E going on and FG pending. Okay, Akhil, you can share your chart on Traders Forum. And fantastic. So I'm a part of Master of Cycles. It's simply amazing the way you teach. Thank you very much, Kiran, about that. And great, guys. And this chart which I plotted, I've used Go charting. You can simply do that from there. And it's, if you face any issues, just tweet it across and I can ask the Go charting team to help you out. Fantastic. So I just want to know, was it useful coming out this way, impromptu, and explaining you my thought process on why I took the trade, what went right, what went wrong at times also. So in the morning, I've explained you what was the thing. And Nawaz is saying I joined just now. Did I miss anything? Nawaz, you actually missed the entire webinar. We are done with that. Okay. Great, guys. See you on the Saturday and Sunday. It's going to be fantastic. 2 days, 12 hours of cycle theory. I'm going to forecast prices using time. I'm going to do that. How to forecast price using time analysis is what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at various cycles on commodities, equities, stocks, and also going to be forecasting them. 1 साल बाद क्या होगा? We will forecast together. 3 साल बाद क्या होगा? जैसे मैंने 2013 में फोरकास्ट किया था, 7 years बाद क्या होगा? Sensex at 61,000, we are just there. So that forecast was done in 2013. So we will forecast together in this upcoming program for the very first time. I'm going to forecast next 5 years with you. Together we are going to do that in the Master of Cycles program. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks a lot, and keep following me on Twitter and Telegram channel AK Trading Gurukul. I keep sharing my views, thoughts, things there. And it's there in my research report, which is promptly published. Thanks a lot and have a wonderful time. Trade well and trade safely. Do not over leverage and trade in the direction of time. Then you can make money. If time is not favoring you, whatever you do will not work. Thank you very much. This webinar is available on YouTube at @Ashish. You can subscribe and click on that bell icon to keep getting the alerts. See you on a Saturday. Thank you.